Hey guys, it's Sugar Brush here, and today I'm going to show you how to make one of these advanced Darth papers. Very advanced. See, it has some pleats for the mask. Yeah, there you go, you can see it now. This is the one that I posted on origamiyoda.com, by the way, and there were like 4 people that want instructions for it, so I'm going to give you the instructions now. You should definitely know how to fold the Deluxe Yoda. I definitely recommend that. You should also know how to fold the standard Darth paper, including the mask, including this part. And here's a one that I made with white tissue foil. Yes, this is tissue foil, by the way. If you can use printer paper, it'll look something like this. You know, it's a little bit more loose. All right, here's a comparison. The tissue foil is it holds in place a lot better. So yeah, now this is about 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters square sheet of paper is what I'm using, by the way. You can use a rectangle if you want, but the mask pleats, the pleats that are going to make the mask are going to narrow the square down into a rectangle. So let me just have this off to the side a little bit here. So what you want to do first is you're going to fold this in half. Just fold it in half. It's fairly simple, right? Just vertically fold in half, or horizontally, and give it a sharp crease. Pretty simple, right? Just folding in half. So now, with it folded, what you're going to do now, so we want to fold this over just a little bit, about this much. Try to line it up. Try to hold this side in place. This is where the edge is. Okay, because we're trying to avoid this. We don't want this to slip out a little bit like this. We don't want this to slip out. So I'm trying to just holding it in place so it stays there. Just trying to keep it in place as we fold here. See, there we go. Let's just want to make sure it's in the right place, and give it a nice crease. Then unfold. Just flip it over. Alright, so now we've got that. We have this fold here, we have this line here. We're going to fold this. Remember, this is the middle crease right here, and this is the edge. So I want to fold the middle crease up to that line that we just made. We're basically going to divide this part into 4 pieces. Alright, like that. Don't unfold this one yet. We're actually going to fold this one. We're going to fold this. We're going to fold this middle crease, this sort of edge right here, to that edge. We're basically making the mask pleats. Okay, now we fold this first one. You should still have a crease right here. You should still have a line right there. So fold along that line. That was the first line that we made. Well, the first one after it's actually the second crease that we made. The first one for the mask. Alright, now we fold this. Fold this one. Fold this edge onto this one. Like this. Try to keep it precise. Try to keep it even as best you can. Alright, so I'm just going to open it up so that you can see what you should have. See that we divided this. This was the original crease that we made after folding in half, and we just divided into 4 parts right there. That's basically what we did. That's all we did right there. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to actually extend out by 2 more. We want to get 2 more divisions. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount and fold back right along this edge here. Right along there. Mount and fold right along there. Once again, trying to keep these edges together the best you can. Let's just pinch the ends of it. I'm going to pinch at the ends. So once again, we're just mount and folding. Like that. Maybe I might make a diagram at some point so that you guys can follow that. In fact, I actually was working on it a little bit. Okay, just softening that up a little bit. So we should have 5 divisions now. Should look like that, basically. So I'm just going to fold them back in. Now we're going to fold this down one more time. Once again, right along there. If it's easier for you, you could actually fold the first crease out a little bit farther and then try to fold it into thirds. And then just fold those thirds in half. You can just do that if that's easier for you. Alright, so we should now have basically 6 divisions. Alright. Okay, and then we'll unfold. So now that we have 6 divisions, let's unfold completely. Alright. Normally I flatten this out more, but I want to make sure I want you to be able to see the creases. So I'm actually just going to label them right here. Alright, so you can see the numbers here. Oh yeah, this is going to be good. Because this part is probably one of the hardest parts for me to, is going to be one of the hardest parts for me to explain. First of all, let me just adjust this crease a little bit here. Ultimately, you could actually end it with 5 divisions, but I'm going to do 6, because that's just easier for me to show you with how to do. Okay, so with that, first of all, let's figure out where the center is. We need to know exactly where the center is, so just fold vertically in half again, and figure out where that crease is. So that's at number 6, so that's right here. That's a center mark. I just marked the center right there, right in between 6 and 7. So now what we're going to do is basically we're going to mount and fold right in between number 5 and 6. Mount and fold between 5 and 6. Okay. And with that mount and folded, bring this part over to number 7. Or, aka the center crease, actually. So we're basically folding segment 6 in half. Alright, I'll show you what it looks like. See that? So we mountain folded right in between 5 and 6, and then we brought that over to the center. Just soften that one up a little bit. Alright, so now we're going to mountain fold on the other side of number 5. Going to mountain fold right in between 4. So we mountain fold between 4 and 5. Mountain fold right there. Just going to strengthen the crease a little bit here. So mountain fold right between 4 and 5, and then bring that over to number 3. We're going to fold segment 4 in half. By the way, this is, if you're using one side of paper, this would be the color side up. Sorry, I should have said that earlier. But so now we have segment 5. Let me relabel that really quick. Segment 5. See that? Yeah. I think this part, I have a diagram for this part, by the way, so I'll probably post a link to that afterwards. So, okay. So now what we want to do is mountain fold right in between 2 and 3. Mountain fold between segments 2 and 3. I'm just going to flip it over to make sure I can get it right. And then I'll show you again when I'm done. Tissue foil can be a little hard to work with at first, but in the end it really pays off. You'll really get a good result. Like I showed at the beginning, it holds in place a lot better. Okay. So once again, we just mountain folded in between 2 and 3. So now we're going to bring this mountain fold to segment 5 actually. Really, it's segment 4, but you can't see segment 4. Basically, to where segment 5 is now. Essentially, we're making another pleat. So these are the mask pleats. This might actually be this is probably arguably the hardest part. I mean, let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments. What you think is the hardest part. Alright. Just crease it pretty well. Alright. And now we mountain fold in between segments 1 and 2. Mountain fold in between segments 1 and 2. Right here. It's actually the second to last line. Mountain fold in between segment 1 and 2. Right there. Alright, now we bring it over here. Bring segment 2 over to the end of segment 1. Okay, you don't actually want to label those segments, okay? Don't do that on your version. I'm just doing it so it's easier for you to see. So I can explain it better to you. Okay, so that's this side. Now we're just going to repeat it on this side, and I'll show you exactly what to do. So we mountain fold between segments 7 and 8. way. And then bring it over to segment 5. All right, now we mount and fold between segment 8 and 9. Mount and fold right between segment 8 and 9. I mean, you can label it too if it's going to make it easier, but I don't recommend it. Alright, so again, just going to reinforce the creases. Actually, if you label the top, I think we can get away with it, and I'll show you how in just a bit. But now we mount and fold between segment 10 and 11. And bring that over to segment 8. Alright, so now there's just one more to do. Mount and fold between segment 11 and 12. So the second to last line on this on this side. And now with it mount and folded, fold segment 12 in half. Fold it to the end of segment 12. All right, that is the mask pleats right there. Just gonna open them up really quick. All right, that's what you should have basically. I'm just gonna refold them back in. So now, if this was the color side, flip it back over. Well, actually, let's have this label part. Make sure this is at the bottom. Have the label at the bottom. Flip it over. Now we want to figure out how we're gonna tuck in. How we're gonna be able to tuck in the robe. So we need to make an extra. We need to fold a little bit of this bottom section up to the top. And if you labeled your segments, the label should be right here. Okay, so that way they're going to be hidden in the final product. You're not going to see them at all if you put them right here. So that's what I meant by we can get away with it. We won't have to see the labels. Originally, I thought we were going to see the labels maybe in the final product, but we're not actually. At least I don't think so. Alright, I'm going to soften it a little bit. Alright, so now we fold. So it's not quite narrow enough for a rectangle. But another thing I want to consider is, actually let me show you with a white version of Darth paper. So you see how we have this extra flap here? What that flap does is, you'll notice how I just open it up a little bit there. When we tuck the bottom triangle in, I've actually tucked it inside so you don't even see it on the back side. So it's completely clean on the back side. With the original Darth paper, you see this? See this triangle? You got a little bit of something there, but it's not visible here. So what we're going to do for that is, to make that flap, we're going to fold a little bit of this in. Only a little bit though. Just a little bit. Actually, let's unfold this bottom part. fold a little bit of that in. Okay, and give that a good crease. So now, for doing the other side, first let me adjust this a little. Let me just adjust this a little bit. So now we want to fold, so you should have 3 little segments here. You should have 3 segments. Fold along the middle of the second one. That's basically going to be the center crease. If you really don't know, just unfold this and fold and mount and fold this in half completely. And just fold it in half, having these line up. Okay, don't crease it too hard. This is not actually a crease we're going to be using. But, okay, so we'll refold this first of all. So now we know exactly where we need to fold. So now we're going to mount and fold like that, right along this edge. Alright, so now we're back to here. So now we refold this back up. So can you see it? This is more of a rectangle now, isn't it? Yeah, so now we still have to make the pleats for the eyes. Still have to make the eyes, but we're not going to do that yet. Not until we have an idea of where the head is going to be. So now with this setup, let's fold one side over. Let's actually just fold it right to one of these lines near the very end. Just do that. And then we'll fold the other one over the same amount. Just adjust this a little bit. Okay, and then unfold that one. And fold this one over too. We're trying to get this to line up to it. We're trying to make this line up. All right, so there we go. And we're not going to fold. We're not going to fold out for the sides of the helmet. So with this, we're just going to fold down. Fold it down pretty far, actually, like farther than you would for the normal Darth paper. Like almost, still not quite all the way to the bottom, but really close to it. Because the eyes are going to narrow the head down a little bit, are going to narrow the top of the head down a little bit. So just consider that. Just try to consider that. And we don't actually know that this is exactly where the head's going to be, but almost exactly where the head's going to be. Just need to have an idea. You don't need to crease it sharply yet, just enough so that you can see it. We unfold that, we unfold these. Alright, so now let's flip it over. So this part here is going to be Darth Vader's head. And this is going to be the robe. This is going to be the head. And this is going to be the robe. So with the head, I'm just going to actually mark it a little bit. So fold, so if the head is right here, let's figure out where the top of the eyes are going to be. Usually I make the top of the eyes about right there. About right there. Don't actually mark it, okay? This is going to show in the final product if you mark it. So we're just going to fold about that much down. I was just marking it to show you. Okay. Fold that. Okay. And now we bring this, so have this mountain folded up, and bring it down. Bring it down just a little bit. Alright, so that's going to be the top of the eyes. Now we got to do the bottom of the eyes. Now for the Deluxe Yoda, we made the pleats right on each other. That's not going to happen here. We want to leave a little bit of space here. Okay, see how there's a little bit of space here between the eye pleats? We want that space. Otherwise these eyes are going to be too closed. So, want to mountain fold. Let me just mark it again. It's like maybe about right here. About right there is where we start the mountain fold. Okay, fold that and give it a good crease. Okay, so now with this mountain folded, fold it and fold this up a little bit. That might have been a little too far, but actually, no, I think it still works. It's a little farther than I use. It's a little bigger than the gap is a little bit bigger than usual, but I think that's fine. It'll work out. Now we want to shape the eyes while it's like this. Okay, it's going to be easier to do while it's like this. So I got some tweezers here. Let me see if I can zoom the camera in. If it's possible. Actually, I think you can see it probably right here. So let's open up the eye pleats a little bit. So we want to get underneath one of them. That's a little tricky to do sometimes. I mean, it's basically like the eyes. So I'm gonna do it while we're in the air. So we're gonna get underneath one of them. Get underneath one of them, grab it, go along it, okay, pinch along it, and then bring it out, and bring it out like this. Okay, this is forming the eyes. And you can see this is we're actually using the mask pleats to do this. And tell you what, I'm actually going to unfold that. I'm actually going to mark the lines. I'm actually just going to mark the lines. So those are the lines right there. So the lines right there, basically. You kind of see that? We're just sort of pulling this over to the side. Yeah. We're basically going to do that. All right, let's do it for this one. I'm going to pull it out. See if I can get better focus. There we go. Just trying to do it at an angle where you can see it. Just trying to pull this out. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Alright. So there's that eye. Do you see that? Does that look like it's going to be an eye? Probably. This one right here. That's one of his eyes. Now we're just going to do it on the other side. So take this pleat, fold it over to the center, fold that flap over to the center. This is how we make the more Darth Paper-like eyes, or Darth Vader-like eyes. It's more like Darth Vader than Yoda. Alright. I'll do it on the other side as well. I mean, it's the same process for each one of these flaps. For each one of those edges, it's the same exact process. So just flatten it down. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bend one of these up. Bend one of these upwards. Bend these up. This bending upwards is actually just like we do for the Deluxe Yoda. That's just like the Deluxe Yoda. Okay, so if you've made that one, it's basically just this bending upwards. I mean, ultimately it's optional. I think you could just leave it, the eyes like that, but they'll look better if you bend it. If you bend the tops and bottoms. Just try to carefully do it. Okay, so just bend them upwards. Okay. Just trying to bend these. Just trying to bend them out a little bit. All right. Yeah. Just try to keep the mask pleats together the best you can. It's easier with tissue foil. So yeah, now what we're going to do is let's flip it back over. And from here, it's pretty much just going to be the standard Darth paper. So we fold this over along that crease that we made earlier. Okay, and we fold this one over. Trying to keep these together. We don't need the tweezers anymore. Alright, so now we're just going to fold one of these outwards. It's going to be just like the standard Darth paper. So we fold out about here. Now, again, I care about precision, and I just care about... Look, so I'm going to start folding it, and then I'm going to flip it over and see what it looks like. Does that look good? Yeah, I think that looks good. I'm going to fold this down. You can sort of let this spread out a little bit, but not too much. We want to have a little bit of room back here for rounding out the head. We don't want this part to get too thick in layers, because rounding the head's going to be harder with that. So now swap. Let's just go ahead and swap. And then fold this one out. And, I mean, up to you, but I like to try to make them about the same. So I'm going to start folding it. We're going to check the other side. It's not quite the same. It's all really close, but... Alright, it looks about right. Alright, so now we're just gonna fold down. Well, actually, before we do that, let's tuck in the robe. So tuck in one of the flaps. Usually I tuck the left side into the right side. We'll tuck the left side into the right side. You can do whichever one you want, but if you tuck the left side into the right side, it'll look like this. You'll see basically for the right hand, right here, essentially. So now we're going to fold this back down. So fold this down. Okay. And now we want to give this a good crease. Whatever kind of paper you're using, just give it a sharp crease, because that's a lot of layers right there. Alright. So now, we're actually going to do the mask first. So just fold this up, like this. Now, Tom Engelberger says that this doesn't fold flat. Well, it does actually, if you grab it right here and bring them up. That's just that's kind of a pre-creasing that I'm doing. Now, you'll probably notice that there are these extra triangles. Don't worry. In fact, that's a good thing. That's better if they're there. That means we're going to be able to hide the triangles underneath. But if not, that's fine. So now we're going to bring this down and squash fold it. Just like for the Tom Engelberger's advanced Darth paper, or Ben's advanced Darth paper. Compared to the pleats, the mask pleats, this is actually pretty minor. This is pretty easy compared to the mask pleats. Alright, so we squash folded it. Now, pull this flap out, just hold it out. Actually, let me flip. Actually, yeah, let's flip it over. I'm just gonna get that out of the way really quick. So we have this part of the mask. Actually, we don't just. Okay, so from here, let's actually unfold the head. Unfold the head. So now we're gonna go in right here. So open this flap up, and then fold this down. And then just fold that down. Okay, and repeat that on this side. Okay, so now we're going to fold this triangle sort of back, right? We're just going to fold that back and try to tuck it in like that. So, yeah, once again, we're just folding this triangle, we're folding this back. Then we're gonna just open this flap up and fold it in like that. Alright, so now let's fold the head back down. Now, rounding the head, what I like to do is a little bit tricky actually. But I have another Darth paper that I actually cut the head off, just so it's easier for you to see exactly what's going to happen. So first we want to pre-crease it. So we're going to do the usual. Let's just, as usual, fold the corners back. And that alone will actually help is actually going to lock the helmet in place. And I like to try to get them at a 45-degree angle. Okay. Now we unfold these. And now we're going to fold this line right here onto that. We're going to use a pencil. Fold. This line here onto this one, onto the one inside. I'm just going to use the tweezers to show you a little bit better what's going to happen. Tell you what, I'm actually just going to make it, and then I'm going to draw the line. So if we have so here's the diagonal line right here. We folded this edge over to that 45-degree angle, and we got a sort of a bit of a kite fold right there. So do that for this side as well. Then unfold it. So now just to start, we're gonna sink fold right along the 45-degree angle crease. Sink fold along that. And you could just do that if you want, actually. This is kind of an optional thing. I'm gonna sink fold along here. And just have that. Just evening it out a little bit. All right. So now the optional but very hard part. So you see this? So this is basically where the sink folds are. And imagine the head was right on top of here. I'm just giving you an inside view of what's going to be happening. Actually, I might just be able to show you right here. If I just open up the head like this, I can show you basically what's going to be happening. I'm going to draw the lines. I'm going to draw both of the lines. Just so you can see it. Just trying to have them fold. I'm just trying to get them folded down. Let's focus it a little bit more. There we go. So yeah, you see these lines? Fold right along these. Yeah, this is a bit tricky. I guess just explaining it to you is a little bit tricky. This is just this is just locking it in place while having it sink folded inside. So basically on this one, it's like we're just going to fold. We're basically folding this. I was just having to do that inside. But just so you understand exactly what the fold is, it's that secondary one that we made. The like 22.5 degrees. I think that's what that is. So now you'll see that this one's a little bit more. This one's a little more locked in place. This one's a little more loose. That's just to lock it in place. It's optional, so if you're having trouble with this, don't worry about it. And if you really want it to hold in place, you could just leave the corners folded back. But I like to do it to go like this. Maybe I can show you actually. I'm just going to finish doing it myself. And I'll try to show you exactly what the fold is supposed to look like. Just going to sort of open these folds up. I'm just going to open these up a little bit. You kind of see that? We had it sync folded like this. Pull this part way up. It's like that. Sorry, it's hard for me to show you exactly. But that's basically what it is. Hopefully you understand that. Hopefully you can understand that. It's like this, basically. So yeah, that's actually pretty much it, to be honest. That's really it. You have your Darth paper. So yeah, there it is. That's my Deluxe Darth paper. And if you use black paper, it'll look better. Especially if you use tissue foil. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. I'll see you later.